Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Nelson. I'm the Communications Director for the University of Utah. Thanks for coming on relatively short notice, and welcome to the University of Utah and Rice-Eccles Stadium. This morning we have President Ruth V. Watkins and Athletics Director Mark Harlan, who will be speaking to you. They both have some prepared remarks to start off with, and then we will do open questions up to media. And then we'll call that after a few questions, and then Mark and his family will be here. Mark has agreed to do some one-on-one interviews. We can do it as a group. We can kind of sort that out, and then we'll get President Watkins back to her job as well. So with that introduction, I'll turn it over to President Watkins.
Thanks so much, Chris, and thank you all. I see a lot of familiar faces, friends, colleagues, partners at the University of Utah. Thank you so much for joining us on this very exciting day. What a pleasure it is for me to be able to introduce you, our community of fans and friends, to our new athletic director, Mark Harlan. Maybe we just take a moment and give a little bit of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So on behalf of the University of Utah, I'm thrilled to be able to introduce our new colleague, such an experienced leader we have the opportunity to welcome into our community. Mark joins us after a successful career as an athletic director at the University of South Florida, and he's also had deep experience at two of our Pac-12 peers, at UCLA as a senior associate athletic director and at the University of Arizona as a senior vice president in development. So a remarkable, successful career in several aspects of athletics and university leadership. His colleagues in athletics have the highest regard for him, both as a leader and as an associate. His values and goals align very well with the University of Utah's, and that was an important part of our process. One of Mark's strengths, we certainly heard about it in the interview process and also shared by those who know him, is that he's a leader who listens, who builds partnerships that advance athletics and that also support the university as a whole. I know that he will bring that talent for listening, inspiring, collaborating, and motivating to the University of Utah as he guides us forward. I think it's a fabulous credit to Dr. Chris Hill and to the entire team at University of Utah Athletics that we were so well positioned to attract a leader of Mark's caliber. The health and vitality and vibrancy of athletics, the fact that we have succeeded in the Pac-12, that we put student athletes first, that athletics is healthy financially, with great facilities and great people and wonderful collaborative partners like you in this room, means that we're well positioned to recruit leadership like Mark. I want to express my appreciation to the many people who helped make this day possible. Certainly we had a wonderful search advisory committee, and that committee helped a great deal. Many of our colleagues around campus and athletics and our partners in the community helped us as we developed a sense of our goals and directions for what we hoped for and wanted in this position, and I know there are stakeholders in this room that helped us with that. I'd like to acknowledge the co-chairs of the Search Advisory Committee, Patty Ross and Manny Hendricks, who were really instrumental in making this happen, and others on that committee who helped us move this forward. I'd like to also express particular appreciation to our search consultant, Chad Chatlos from Ventura Partners. Chad was an invaluable guide through this through this effort, and I have to say that as a university that has not searched for an athletic director for 31 years, we were a little rusty. So that kind of partnership and advice really helped us a great deal. Many, many people helped us make this great day happen. So as we think about the University of Utah, certainly our athletics program is strong, it's healthy, it's vibrant. Our student athletes compete at the highest level, and we are focused on their well-being in their individual sports and in the classroom. Our fans are loyal and dedicated. This is a university on the rise. Mark is joining the University of Utah at a wonderful time. So, Mark, to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Wow. It's an absolute honor to be here. I can't thank President Watkins enough for your belief and faith and myself and my incredible family that I'll talk about in just a minute. I'm so honored. I want to thank the Search Advisory Committee. I want to thank Chad as well. It was such a professional process. And I got to learn so much about the University of Utah and how great it is. But I'm so excited to join your team in all regards. I also want to take a minute to talk about Chris Hill. You know, he's in the Mount Rushmore of our business. And I had a chance to talk to him on Friday. We just were laughing about everything. And I asked him about his day. I think he just got off the bus or the ceremony that he did. And he was laughing so much about it that he didn't trip and all those things. And he's such a good man. And he pledged to me his complete support. And typical him, he didn't want to be here today and take away from anything from me, which is how classy he is. I can't wait to continue to talk to Chris. He's such a great man. And I'm just excited about having a chance to follow through on everything that he built here. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank the great people at the University of South Florida. Unbelievable people there. Dr. Judy Ginshaft has built an incredible university, and I was so honored to be there as well. Incredible student athletes and coaches and staff there. Great people. Can't thank them enough. A lot of people didn't think we could win all the championships there while I was there, and they did it. Set academic rates, unbelievable experience, and I want to thank them all. I also want to thank, if you'll give me just a second, because I know he leads one of our foes in the Pac-12 South, and we're going to get after him. But Dan Guerrero, the athletic director at UCLA, he's my mentor, the way he approaches things, and one of the main reasons I'm sitting here today. Thank you, Dan, for everything. These three people that are sitting right here in front of me, this is going to be the hard part, so bear with me a little bit. So this is easy for me, right? I mean, you lead a department, and everyone's fawning on you and taking pictures of you, but behind the scenes are some incredible young people. We've got Austin sitting right there, wearing the jersey well, and we have Savannah sitting right there, and my incredible wife, Carolyn, who's been with me throughout the entire process of this adventure since I met her when I was a graduate student at Arizona. And, you know, they're everything to me, and I can't wait for the Utah family to get to know them as well. And I thank you enough, can't thank you guys enough, you know. Savannah, last night we were preparing for this, and she listened to how I was going to approach it, and she said, Dad, don't forget to tell them how hard you've worked to get to this moment. Not what she's going through as an 8th grader, moving. Nothing about that. And then my son, Austin, when we arrived here on Saturday morning and saw the picture, the real lovely picture of me, wasn't very attractive. And he was the first to point that out as we walked through the airport over and over again. So I love you guys so much, and the adventure continues. Thank you guys so much. Whew, thank you. The rest is easy. The rest is easy. I am so excited to be here. This is an unbelievable institution. I've seen it from afar, competed against Utah. I told the staff this morning when I met with all of them, and I told the head coaches, when you played Utah, you were in a fight. You were in a fight, and it didn't matter what sport it was, you were in a fight, and it was really hard to win. How ready everybody was to get in the Pac-12 conference and get after it. So I'm so excited to be a part of that going forward. I'm excited to be in the best league in this country, the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12. There's no better league in this country, and I can't wait for us to take our place and start winning a lot of those championships in this conference. My expectations here are very simple. It's to win. But the important thing is you have to define what that is. Okay, so we're going to win in 3 categories. We're going to win in the classroom. Absolute necessity. And the academic marks already here are profound. But we're going to continue to win in all ways possible. We must graduate our young people. If they engage and do the right things, they'll graduate. Promise you. We're going to win in the community. We are the flagship of this entire state. We represent Utah and we represent Salt Lake City. And our young people will be in this community. They support us. We will support them. And lastly, we're going to win in competition. This is not intramurals. I was an intramural athlete, nothing against intramurals. This is big time college sports. And we're going to win in competition. Everybody, including myself, will be evaluated on the 3 C's going forward. I told that to the staff this morning, and I want everyone to know it's as simple as that. What's my style? I mean, you know, I want to be very open. I told the group this morning that I believe strongly in transparency. I want people to know where they stand. But I also want to be the kind of leader that's selfless, that people know that I want to know how to help them. It's not about helping me. I want to help them. You know, when you talk about a team, everyone talks about, well, you evaluate a coach at the end of the season. No, you don't. You evaluate yourself. You evaluate your administration. How did you help that coach? How did you help that program? We are all in this together. To our student athletes, I can promise you this. We will not rest until we have the very best student athlete experience in this country. And it's already profound, believe me. That's critically important. You came here, and we owe it to you. To the coaching staff, as I said this morning, I'm with you. This is a partnership. Can't wait to work with you. To our fans, you know, the pride and passion of the fan base of the University of Utah is noted throughout this conference and throughout this league. We will do everything we can every day to make you proud. What's critically important to me is how you're treated at all the events that you come to. We want to have the best fan experience in the country. Every day I work on that. But we're not just going to think we're doing it, we're going to ask you. And we're going to find out where we need to improve. What can we do better? We'll always be checking on that. That's critically important. To our donors, I walked around here on Saturday stunned at the facilities here. Stunned. I've been on the East Coast for 4 years. You guys have been up to a lot of stuff here. I told Dr. Hill, I said, my gosh, it is just absolutely gorgeous. I promise you this, your investment will continue to improve. And we'll need your help. But I promise you, you'll always see it as that, an investment in young people and a great program that you can always be proud of. Dr. Hill created an amazing place. And all I can do, all we can do, is try to continue to build upon that. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Watkins, for your faith and belief in me. My family and I are so honored to be here. Get ready, buckle up, go Utes.
That's a really good year. It looks good.
Thank you.
We have a microphone that my colleague here will pass around for media. We've got both the president and Mark here. Let's do some questions that have for both of them, and then we'll, just in terms of timing, Mark needs to do an interview with Bill Riley from Call 700. We've got some other lineup for him, but we've got him until about 1, so we've got plenty of time for media to do a one-on-one interview. So, questions from media for both the president and Mark?
Brad Rock from the Deseret News, and Mark, you know, you've worked in the Pac-12, so my question is, where do you see the university where it is now in comparison to Arizona, UCLA? How far away, or are you they're equal now as an athletic department?
Well, I've been gone out of the conference for the last 4 or 5 years, but I promise you, we're not going to take a back seat to anybody. I can promise you that. And I know the kind of young people that I saw here competing when I was on the other side. I saw that a few years ago. So I believe strongly that everything's in place for us here, incredible coaches. Can't wait to meet all the student athletes and all of that. But I believe strongly that we can rise in all sports. And we're already succeeding at such a high level anyway. But we know this. Look out for Utah.
President Watkins, Chris Camerani with the Salt Lake Tribune. Can you give us a breakdown on how many finalists you were looking at and what made Mark stand out above the lot?
Yeah. So I'll tell you that we had a national search for this position, as we did with the presidency and our senior vice presidents. So a national search is a great thing to do because it gets the visibility of the university out around us. And what I can tell you is that great people want to come to the University of Utah. I think we had a wonderful process, and that surfaced Mark as the clear best choice for this position. His experience at many facets of athletics leadership and university leadership is really what stood out. Thanks very much.
Dana Green from KTVX for Mark. As you begin your journey here, what are going to be the first few priorities that you want to get accomplished right away?
Listening. I think it's critically important that I listen to our coaches, our staff, and find out what's the things that they need to continue to excel. listen to our incredible donors and find out about their experience, why they're investing at such a level, and just go through that process throughout the community. I think that's really important to learn. Once you get to that point, then you start formulating your plan and go about, doing all the things we need to do and winning in those three categories that I talked about. But this first period of time is going to be listening profoundly and not doing a lot of talking.
Josh Harlan from KSL.com. It seems in the past that you've done a really good job of fundraising, getting money to the universities that you've been with. Obviously here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, there's a lot of talk of expansion. How much is the donor experience or getting people to support these types of facilities, how important is that to you?
Well, the project itself, I need to learn a lot about the project and understand it, and I'm sure great folks will get me up to speed on all that. But just in general, working with donors, it's about matching their passion to the university and whatever that might be. And I think I've enjoyed doing that in my career, because at the end of the day, it can be transformational in what it can do for young people in so many different ways. So whether it's that project or any other project that emerges as we move forward, it's just a matter of taking it out and talking to great folks and seeing if they want to help.